but he couldn't get a well-paying job in Chicago because he was not permitted as a black man to join the labor union.
Didn't I read recently, this is not in your book, but I guess Skip Gates will put it in his book, that she has genetic links to Stephen Colbert, Charlemagne, and one of the English kings?
I would not be surprised. Don't we all have links to everyone these days?
What kind of upbringing did her parents, Marion and Fraser Robinson III, have?
Her parents are just intriguing characters. I mean, one of the things that was so fun about working on this book was discovering her many relatives in this very large family on the south side of Chicago. Fraser Robinson was born in 1935. Her mother, Marion Shields, was born in 1937 in very working class conditions.
In Chicago?
In Chicago.
Not in Kenya?
In Chicago itself. And Fraser Robinson graduated from high school in 1953 from DuSable High, and Michelle thinks he would have been an artist if he only could have. He couldn't afford to go to college for very long. His mother, her mother's parents actually wanted her to be a teacher, but she wasn't so interested in that.
But I get the sense that Michelle thinks all of her ancestors could have been something else, or would have been something else, if race hadn't stopped them.
She's very clear that there's a legacy of racism and bigotry in this country that held African Americans down, and she's been quite explicit about that in her own family.
Was she a good student?
She was a very good student. A lot of it through very, very hard work. Her brother was 2 years ahead of her. Craig Robinson. He went off to Princeton. Someone said of him that he could, pass the test by just carrying a book under his arm. Michelle worked for it. She would get up before dawn.